this computer. Great. Hello, this is Danielle with the Art Reborn 100 Mannequins exhibition and celebration funded and created by the Dan and Trudy Regan Foundation. I'm here today with Charlotte from the Pelham Arts Center, and we are going to be talking Charlotte from the Pelham Arts Center, as well as Dan Regan himself. We're going to be talking about the exhibition today and how it came to be. Welcome, Charlotte, and welcome, Dan. Yeah, we'd love to sort of get the ball rolling and talk a little bit about your the artists that are going to be involved in the exhibition and your thoughts about what's going to be happening. Charlotte, if you want to start off, what artists are going to be working or coming from the Pelham Arts Center and the Nyack Arts Center?
Great. Well, thank you so much. I first found out about this project through the Nyack Art Collective, and at first I wasn't quite sure what it was. And as I learned more about it and got to meet Dan and this amazing project of art being reborn by giving artists an opportunity to come out of COVID to create on these mannequins from spaces that have been closed, I thought it was a really beautiful concept. So I really wanted to jump on it. And there aren't a lot of opportunities to paint on some alternative sculptural mediums. So personally, I thought it was a very fun project. And then having the scale of it with almost 100 artists coming together to create different pieces and then having them all installed in one landscape has this wonderful whimsy to it. It's lighthearted and it really brings joy. And when I think about art in public space and creativity being shared with community, that is what's really important, to remind people of joy and of the benefits of art and this place for human expression and for people to come together through that expression of creativity and to bring levity. There are some that also deal with some heavier subject matter, and that's just as important because art is an access point to have conversations. And I think this is a really fun way to celebrate that. This 3-day festival is what I'm thinking of it as, a festival and public art display in a private home. It sounds really incredible with the different guests that are going to be joining us, the different activations. And I know there are going to be some special art tours throughout, and it really does sound truly beautiful. So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah. Dan, if you want to give a little backdrop of how you came up with the concept of the show and what you're looking forward to for the show coming in October.
Well, about a year and a half ago, I was contacted by a number of our artist friends, and they were all trapped in their studios. And I asked them what they were doing. They said, well, they're not able to sell, they're not able to exhibit. I said, let's see if we can start up something. And I heard of Modell's going out of business, and somebody touted me onto it. I went over there and bought all of their mannequins, and I pictured giving the mannequins to a number of these artists. Well, this thing has exploded into like Lord and Taylor went out of business, and we bought another 50, 70 mannequins from them, and we now have in the tri-state area about close to 80 artists participating, word of mouth. And some of the art associations, like the Pelham Arts Center and other art centers, are participating. And we have artists of all ages participating, from teenagers to world-renowned artists. And we now have 140 some odd mannequins to be displayed. So this thing has exploded one thing to another. And before you know it, we contacted the beauty school that has 3 locations, and they did wigs down through the ages, 11 beautiful wigs. Then we're going to have a lecture on different hats. And then somebody came aboard and wanted to do a fashion show, which we're going to have on Saturday at 2 o'clock in the night. So one thing escalated like a big snowball rolling down the hill. A number of the free radio stations have contacted us. The magazine in Rockland County, October 1st, is doing an expose with us on the cover. So we expect to have over the 3 days close to 1,000 people coming on to our premises to view all of these 140 mannequins, some strapped up in the trees, some floating in the wind. The Pelham Art Center is going to have their own section and other areas like that. So this thing has gotten to be quite a thing, way past an 87-year-old old cocker artist who's trying to just help a few artists. We now find ourselves helping close to 8 artists, all exhibiting, and we're now trying to set up an extended show beyond on our premises onto museums, the big arts, what do you call it, center for clothing that wants it over the holiday season, and we're trying to extend it into museums to give it, the artists as much publicity, hoping that they can either sell or get exhibitions from this. We don't sell. Our foundation is set up just to help artists and to help art centers publicize their members and do a little good for society.
Yeah, it's become more like an expression of the community and a creative
Right.
output from the community, especially right now during the pandemic when a lot of people haven't gotten a chance to show publicly in a really long time. So yeah, it will be on October 8th, 9th, and 10th. And it will be a great, great celebration of the local artists in the tri-state area. Charlotte, is there any particular artists that you're looking forward to seeing from your communities, or things that you're excited to looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it in the entirety, absolutely. But being the executive director of the Pelham Arts Center, I want to highlight a couple of the people we have working with us. And it's very exciting for me as a resident of Rockland County, a neighbor of the location in New City, and being very active in the Rockland County art scene with the Art Council of Rockland and Rockland Center for the Arts, and being a leader at an art institution in Westchester, to see these different places come together is really spectacular. So the Nyack Art Collective has 14 artists participating from that group, which is really exciting. And I think you'll get the opportunity to meet a lot of them on site, and they'll be around helping out as well. And then with the Pelham Art Center, we have Barry Mason, who is a phenomenal photographer, abstract painter, and a teaching artist, and a previous board member of the Pelham Art Center. So I'm really looking forward to seeing his piece displayed. We also have works by the Nerdy Duo, which is Melissa Weiland and Aaron Cardullo, who teach at the Pelham Art Center. And I know that their piece is inspired. They teach digital art and all sorts of animation projects. So I know it's inspired from computer chips and technology. It's very gear oriented. So I'm excited to see how that came together. We also have a mannequin by the Highbrook Studios in Pelham, New York, which is a piece that's actually made by 5 different artists working together. So it's one collaborative mannequin within this much larger collaborative art project. So I think that's really beautiful. Myself, I'm also an artist and a painter. So Charlotte Mouquin, I have a piece which relates very well to my painting style, and my figure is kind of growing up out of the ground with these energy centers and veins. And whenever I'm creating, I'm thinking about how we are all connected through the universe, through nature, through communication, and through collaboration, which is really what this project is all about. And that art reborn, creative energy being reborn, coming together, because when you see it in a collective, it really does become monumental. And I think that is phenomenal. Another associated with the Pelham Art Center, as well as the Nike Art Collective, the active president right now, John Gilbert, also I know did a piece that is dealing with the skeletal structure. There are actually a few artists dealing with the skeletal structure coming outside. And I mean, this pandemic really did turn us all inside out in one way or another. So getting able to celebrate art outdoors in a public space is just, it's such a beautiful opportunity. And I'm really, really looking forward to it and all of the programming.
Yeah, so the show is October 8th, 9th, and 10th in New City, New York. If you are interested in
And I must comment that it's all free of charge.
yes, it
And
is.
the foundation is going to be sponsoring all the desserts and wine and cheese.
Yes,
So we welcome any and all of the artists, friends, relatives, and to come up and let's all have a good time. And Charlotte, thank you for all of your cooperation. Your mannequins are magnificent. That as we talk now, they're being set up in a special section on the foundation grounds. And let's all have a blast.
thank you, Dan. Thank you, Charlotte, for your time. We look forward to seeing you. Please check out our website, artreborn.org, for more information and the schedule. We look forward to seeing you on October 8th, 9th, and 10th in New City, New York.
Charlotte, I also will take the responsibility of getting us down to the park and river